Hello crafty friends, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda and Makers with Heart in our May masculine themed projects. So today I have these photos from when we were moving from the rental house to the house we purchased in California, and we have all this lumber. It's beautiful. My husband does woodworking. We have some projects that I'm hoping to get out of it, and so I am trying to use these, and it's also May I Scrap Lift You. So I'm doing a masculine layout and scrap lifting the fabulous Gwen Ruck, and you can see her layout up here in the corner. And I loved the feel of this. I thought for the sawdust on the floor and the pictures that I could do some mixed media, and she had all the kind of the stars in there, but for me I trying to do some mixed media because I've been missing it, but also talk or have it work with the photos. And seeing all the sawdust on the floor, I just thought I could have some fun with this. So the first thing I need to do is to gesso my white paper, and by using a brush like this, I am going to get brush marks in the gesso. If you want a more smoother look for some watercolor, you can purchase watercolor paper and that'll work for you. But if you don't have watercolor paper, you can get the gesso and maybe use a credit card or a hotel room key, something that you can that's a little more smooth, that you kind of almost varnish the gesso on. So again, with Gwen's layout, she has the outside edge and stitching, and I'm not going to do stitching on this layout because it just again doesn't work with the photos. But because this is gessoed paper, I am going to cut off all four sides, not just cut a 1/2 inch off of two sides. And now I'm going to show you for the Hey Handsome collection, I kind of customized one of their images to make my title, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Here's the You Demand card, and so you go to upload and you select this image after you've downloaded them from your Close to My Heart account, and then I select that to add it to my canvas, and I don't need the rest of the card. I just want this title and then also the banner, because for me, I just thought this was great. My husband is very handy and he enjoys doing woodworking, and the lumber that we have is very nice lumber. It's butternut, if you know what that is. It almost has gold flecks in it when you plane it down. So I'm looking forward to some projects out of it. But so I thought to make a title, I would go ahead and choose a shape, and I just overlaid it on those words and sliced the two images together, which gave me the two halves here of my words. And then I lined up the line between the you and the man, so it's all seamless. And now I am attaching that, or welding it together, I should say, so now it's all one piece. And then knowing the size of that, I can go ahead and change the size of this banner. And some people just stretch it with their mouse. I like to actually use the numbers up in the corner. I'm a math gal and it works for me. So that's what I did. And then you just cut it out, and I cut it out with this kind of, it's almost a houndstooth black paper from the Hey Handsome collection. And it feels like it's getting lost on that background. So I'm going to go ahead and ink all around that, and then you can kind of read it a little better. I noticed that I missed the inside of this one letter D, and once I have that, for me, it just makes it stand right out again. So now, because I've gessoed my white daisy, I can play with watercolors. I'm deciding to go ahead and use the ink pads. And as you saw, I kind of smushed the ink pad to get it to the lid. And then I'm adding water to the lid and also to my paper. And because I've gessoed it, it will stay on top of the paper. It doesn't soak into it and make it warp as quickly as it would had it not had that layer of gesso on it. So now I'm just kind of scraping this all down. I'm trying to get bigger splatters, and this is kind of a accidental moment. I think this technique I will use on other projects because I really kind of like what's happening here. I should have gotten out my re-inkers, but for whatever reason, I didn't think of them until later. and I do get them out later to ink my textured paste. But instead I added some more water to the base of this, and as you'll see, the ink pad left some rough edges, but again, because the base is gessoed, I can kind of use my wet brush and it softens all of those edges. At this point, I'm disappointed that I lost all of that lovely blue Harbour color, so I'm going to go ahead and try to add some more. Just gonna clean my brush off real quick and try to bring in some of that Harbour. And that first swatch with my paintbrush, I feel like it was getting muddied by the Toffee ink. It was kind of having more green tones show up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drip that color on my paper and try to glean all the little bit of blue that I can. And I apologize, I had distractions in my world when I was making this layout, and I didn't hit record as I put my texture paste. So I used a stencil of diamonds. I tinted the texture paste with black and then just did 2 areas with that diamond. I will also ask A to forgive me for not recording that stenciling, but also if you could do a thumbs up on this video, that helps me out a lot, and subscribe to my channel, that's also a help. So here I'm just taking some of the stickers from the Hey Handsome collection, and I'm trying to make some banner interest or something up here in the corner. I'm trying to keep it, I don't want to say minimal, but I want the pictures to tell the story. And then I have some journaling that I'm typing up, and I'm not sure yet how that's going to go on. Originally I thought that I would have it in the corner here, where the arrow is pointing under the word strong, but it turns out that I felt like I needed to balance that big piece of paprika, that orange, somehow. So what I end up doing is deciding to make a tag. So here I'm just going to put my photos down, and I tack things down first. And because this paper is gessoed, you can't really see it on the camera, but it's very warped. So my photos are actually not sticking down well. So what I ended up doing is taking my other Versamat and putting it on top of it, and then weighing it down with the plates for my die cutting machine. So just if you end up using gesso or something like that, go ahead and you might need to weigh it down. If I normally do my gessoing all in batches, so I'll do like 20 pages at a time, and then I do exactly that, as I weigh all 20 pages down so that when I go to use them, they're perfectly flat. So here I'm grabbing a camera, I'm grabbing another little rounded banner from the sticker collection. There's these stars in here. Here is that tag that I told you that I created for my journaling. And at first I was just going to have it up in the corner, but it was too much. And I apologize that I don't show you me trying it there. It was too heavy. It was, it unbalanced the photo, or the photos. So instead I'm just taking a little bit of my foam tape, and I'm just going to pop up the top edge of this photo. And this is kind of one of the advantages of it not gluing down on that gesso paper so well, is I have an opportunity to do that. And because I've added those foam squares in there, this tag just slips in there nicely. And with the help of my Cricut spatula, I was able to get those stickers back off the page to go over the photos again. I'm just kind of looking again here to see if there's one more something in paprika that I can use to kind of give me my triangle of colors. And otherwise, this is done. The sticker sheet, the colors, getting out the stencils and the mixed media, for me, just made this masculine layout come together so quickly. So I hope you have fun and you pull out some of your mixed media. Katie is going to have a video for us tomorrow, so there will be a playlist in the description under my video, plus any of the products used. I will have links below as well. Be sure to give some love to all the makers with Harp, and I hope you have a happy Mother's Day.